Hey, peace world. Wood here. Some more Pay Me No Mind Sports and Entertainment. I had to sit around for a couple of days and look at what we sat here as a people and what we did to Caitlin Clark and women's basketball. And it's pretty embarrassing, but it's typical based on where we are, as a society right now, the things that we focus on, and this shit called social media, and just the way that people come to damn near everything that becomes a major headline. Once the masses come, like, you hear about it on social media, and then you go check it out, and we gotta consider where every individual, what on-ramp you use. Where you even become conscious of what the thing is all about. I've watched women's basketball on and off for the last 20-25 years. Caitlin Clark is a great story, a great moment. She's a phenomenal player. She deserved everything that she got the last 3 years. But there have been several great all-time players. And maybe not in the women's game per se, but we've seen what Caitlin Clark just accomplished. If you've been paying attention to college basketball and March Madness, that's why it is what it is. We've seen teams go dancing. We've seen Cinderella stories. It just starred men. So I'm just, I mean, man, the politics got involved. People hating on tattoos. People hating on braids. People hating on colored braids or colors in the braids. People mad because the women can't jump out of the gym. People mad because the men don't have any stars over there, but it was good basketball played over there. But I'm just like, okay, so first thing, I was like, I know I've seen something similar to Caitlin Clark in the Lady Hawkeyes. I'm like, man, Wally Zerbiak and the Miami Redhawks, didn't he have a big now none of them went as far as Clark to, back-to-back national championships. Except for if we go to Butler basketball in 2010 and 2011. And I know Gordon Hayward, and I can't think of the brother's name, the point guard. I think he did get drafted. But back-to-back, Butler go head-to-head with Duke and UConn in 2010 and 2011. I think they lose UConn by about 8 points. Only lost by 1 or 2 points to Duke. Dwayne Wade's Marquette run, his last year. Carmelo at Syracuse, and I know Syracuse is bigger than Iowa, but we've seen these big moments and these moments that just grab major headlines before. I mean, we could even think about Jimmer Fredette, him and his shooting, VCU, George Mason. The only thing now is that the internet is where all of this shit goes, and people go to war with their racism, their fight against racism, their homophobia, their biblical stuff. The transgender argument has to come here. We saw Coach Don Staley get that in at the very end. So then I'm like, what other women were great? I know nobody shot it. And obviously she has all-time great season high points per game, season high points totals. She became the all-time scorer, no diss to Lynn Woodard from the AIWA, before women's basketball was NCAA. Okay. And she men's basketball, no three-point line. Okay. Sorry, Lynn. But I'm like, man, I love me some Shamika Holmes-Clark. And I thought she was gonna revolution. I thought she was gonna lift. I thought she was gonna lift women, the WNBA up. So I went in and I'm like, let me go see what Holmes-Clark did. I don't know the specifics. But man, three national championships, two-time Naismith Award winner. Okay, so she didn't average 30 points a game, and she had a loaded team with the Lady Vols. But damn, she averaged 23.5 as a junior and then 21.3 points per game as a senior. Okay, so I was wrong. She's not quite, she's not doing what Kayla. Okay. Then I'm like, let me go check out my girl Maya Moore. Again, I think she was two-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2 or 3 national titles. She hit 22.8 points per game as a senior. Again, maybe it was to Caitlin Clark's benefit that she went to a smaller school where she had the green light and could totally, she didn't come off the floor. She could shoot. She couldn't be reprimanded for shooting from 25 feet away, 26 feet away. It allowed her to be as entertaining as she became. Maybe in these other systems, if she was at UConn, Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, Baylor, because there are other capable people on the team, McDonald's All-Americans and future WNBA prospects or whatever, maybe she wouldn't have been able to do what she could do at Iowa. And then I'm like, man, I know I saw another little white girl lighting people up years ago. She was from a small school in Southwest Missouri State. Jackie Stiles. I'm like, I've seen this before. Now Jackie Stiles attempted about 4 three-pointers per game, but she was getting it in and getting buckets. She averaged 26 one year. These are all rounded up. She averaged 26 her sophomore year, 28 as a junior, and then a shade over 30 points per game as a senior. Wasn't no internet around. We didn't have the culture war and the bullshit going on. And I'm like, I knew it. Shout out to Jackie Stiles. She didn't have the tournament success as Caitlin Clark, but okay. So then I'm like, everybody keeps tying Caitlin Clark to Steph Curry and revolutionizing the game based on her shooting and whatnot. Okay. But I'm looking at it like, so let me go back. I look at Steph Curry in 2008 NCAA tournament. Okay, earlier in the season, he dropped 24 against North Carolina, scored 20 against Duke in like a 6-point loss. He averaged 26 points a game for the season. So we get to the tournament, and Steph Curry takes over. The internet is around, but we weren't in the midst of this cultural war that we're in. And there's not this tie-in between the political or socio-political scene and kind of like taking over sports, because politics knows that's where people gather. That might be the major place where people gather and where you can talk to everybody and get your propaganda off at one time. So let's take the political shit over to the sports. And at the same time, yeah, some of my brothers and sisters were speaking out about some things that pissed mainstream America off. Okay. But anyway, in 2008, he goes up against number 7 Gonzaga. Davidson is ranked as a 10th seed. He drops 40 points in his first game. 30 coming in the second half against Gonzaga. Gonzaga was number 7, was a 7th seed. We know that Gonzaga basketball has been a March Madness stalwart for the last 20 plus years. So you take down a big name like Gonzaga in the first round and catch them. And then you drop 40. Number 2, Georgetown in the next round. They beat Georgetown 74-70 after being down 46-29. A comeback like that, it don't get any bigger. He drops 30 points against Georgetown. They move on to the Sweet 16. In the Sweet 16, he faces number 3 Wisconsin, the Badgers, holding teams to 53 points per game that year. Surely Wisconsin is going to take out Davidson. 30 points from Steph. No, I'm sorry. 33 points from Steph Curry. They dropped 73 as a team, winning the game 73-56. Damn, you took out one of the favorites that year in Wisconsin. Then you come back in the Elite Eight and face number 1 overall Kansas and take them to the buzzer, losing 59-57, 25 points from Steph Curry, but he shot 9 of 25 that game. Clearly didn't have as much talent as Kansas, who went on to win the championship, I believe. Curry actually hit the three-pointer for it to be 59-57. He couldn't get off a shot at the end of the game, and another guy, I can't remember his name, but he ended up taking the last shot, and I can't remember if he hit the rim or what. He didn't go in. But, and then, I'm like, I know Curry, didn't he have a second chance to go to the NCAA tournament? I forgot. They didn't even make it. Do you know how he would have been criticized in social media today and what the podcasters and sports talk people would have done? They didn't even make it to the big dance his junior year. Didn't even make it. They went to the NIT. I'm like, damn, I forgot all about that. Went to the NIT. First round, he has 32 against South Carolina. Second round, he drops 26 and gets blown out by St. Mary's. And then we know he goes off to the NBA draft and the rest is history. But, yeah, I'm just like, man, I don't know how we come into these things and let all this bullshit, people wanted to highlight and call Rebecca Lobo out as a hater for saying that she needed multiple championships to be the GOAT. The GOAT discussion is subjective. Everybody's gonna have their own criteria and their opinion. Everybody would want a camera in their face and this microphone right here. But all she said was like, damn, you got all these other women with 3 and 4 national titles, 3 and 4 player of the year. Like, how do you just jump to the front of the line on your last chance, your last bid to win one? Like, so Rebecca Lobo couldn't share her opinion. Diane Taurasi comes out and just says it's gonna be, she just said to everybody coming into the league, yeah, maybe she was specifically speaking to Caitlin Clark, that reality is coming. It happens for a lot of rookies. And I just really don't foresee, I went and checked this out. Kelsey Plum was who Caitlin Clark surpassed to be number 1 all-time scorer. And Kelsey Plum averaged 31.5 or something her senior year, or her last year in school. I don't know. I think I just heard her say she averaged less than 10 points per game her rookie season in the league. But I just looked this. I watched the game 4 of the women, the WNBA finals. She only had like 7 points in the elimination game of the WNBA final. 7 points. Now, maybe Caitlin Clark is more aggressive. Maybe she's a more cold-hearted scorer or shooter. Maybe she's more big-time, more of an entertainer. Maybe she's more box office. Maybe. But I'm just saying, I don't have a clue of how well or how badly things could go, how she could come back to earth. You know, she could come back to the rest of the pack. I don't know. And I don't even want to try to be right. I said my little analysis of her game, her strengths and weaknesses. She will be playing with the team that she has to fit into, and other people need to touch the ball. Other people need looks. She may need to distribute the ball a little more. She might get moved off the ball. I don't know. But everybody has to, on the internet, everybody has to rush in with their opinion of the moment, being prisoners to what just happened, prisoners of the moment, and have to say something that's supposed to be right or wrong for the next 10 or 15 years or 3 years. And whatever, man, whatever. I thought the women's tournament was phenomenal. Unfortunately, Caitlin Clark, had 20 points or whatever her last game against South Carolina. As you go through those last couple of rounds and you face the best of the best, and they get time to dissect you and they get some days to game plan for and scheme for you, and to go out there. You saw what Nina Buell from UConn, you saw what she was able to do single-handed that LSU couldn't do with Flage and Van Lith covering. So, is it Mule? It's not Mookie. I thought it was Mule. But you saw how she had an effect just face guarding just one person. And to go over and then to go against South Carolina with a rotation that they could put on her and being a more defensive-minded team, physical team, well-rounded team, maybe no elite scorer or whatever, although Cardoso had a big game underneath. And she just ran out. She just ran out of gas, and being truly exceptional. And that's what it was going to require to beat South Carolina. So that's it, man. That's just my 2 cents, man. I hope y'all enjoy women's basketball. Best of luck to Caitlin Clark at the next level. Best of luck to the newcomers in women's basketball to see who can pick up the mantle and run with it. Whether it's Juju, whether it's Hannah, maybe Full Wiley develops, and maybe just. Again, I mentioned these other times where it was big names, Breanna Stewart, Ionescu. It's been these people who had flashes, and we'll see who comes into the fold next. That's just my thoughts on it. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.